Sometimes life throws bold moments at you, like finding the perfect vacation or finding the ideal location. At BOS, we're there to help you meet those moments with bold confidence. So whether it's managing money for future plans or getting what you need to start planning your dream, we're here to bring you a better banking experience. Make the bold move and switch to BOS today.
Welcome to Business Spotlight, brought to you by the Bank of Springfield. I'm Ron Kincher. We have Tom Freeze from Tri-City Sports joining us today.
Thanks for having me, Ron.
How long have you owned this place now?
We're on our 15th year. It'll be 15 years in September, so We're super excited about that.
Are you going to have a big party?
I'm going to have one for myself.
There you go. Yeah.
Nobody said I'd make it this long. People gave me like a year, 2 years.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah.
Based on what?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay. But you weren't the original Tri-City Sports owner,
No,
right?
no. Bruce and Kathy Thomas owned Tri-City Sports, and it was located over by Subway, just off of 9th and Broadway there. And then the opportunity came for us to look at purchasing it. And when that was the case, there's just a lot of turnover. Their lease was up, things like that. So we had to move. We moved out by Maya Restaurant out on Broadway. Just had some building issues there. It was a great spot. Just had some building issues, no fault of anybody. And we really lucked into the location here at 6th and Main at the Main Center. And it's just helped us grow ever since. So.
Before you bought it, what were you doing? Have you always been in business?
I've either had my own business or I've ran businesses for the most part. So, I started retail when I was 16 years old. So I've always kind of been in it. I was in management for clothing retail in St. Louis. I was in retail here. I ran one restaurant and bar for a time. And then that had kind of opened up the opportunity for this because I was back in Quincy. So it was a great opportunity. We knew the Thomases, and it was one of those fun movie story type of closings. I was on vacation. I was on the 17th hole putting for birdie with my brother-in-law and father-in-law, and I got the call from my attorney that they accepted the offer, and
off we go.
They said, "Where can we get you the fax machine?" I went into the pro at the golf course, and they faxed it over, and I signed it right there at the golf course and sent it back.
Wow, that is a movie type thing.
It's good. Yeah, it's kind of fun.
So when the Thomases owned it, it was a lot of soccer.
Yes, they were soccer. Primarily that they had a very small amount of school fanware, and then they also did some business screen printing and things like that. But it was really more soccer and team uniform oriented was when we bought it.
So did you have that in the back of your mind when you bought it, that you're gonna kind of switch models to what you have now?
No, what my original plan was I wanted to basically be, with it being Tri-City Sports, I wanted to be a multi-city soccer store. I had looked at a location in Springfield, Illinois, at the indoor soccer facility there. Basically had space looked at, ready to go. Had looked at another spot up in Iowa, and it just didn't quite materialize how I wanted it to. Like, I really had built the store here how I wanted it, and to kind of get that mold of really upping the soccer inventory, having things that people could come in and buy, and it wasn't so much shoe related. It was, you could come in and buy Premier League teams. You could come in and buy a lot of your equipment, things that you needed that we just expanded on that it didn't have before. But big industry kind of squashed that. Like when I first bought, it was X amount of inventory I had to bring in a year, and by the time we get to our third year, that had tripled.
Oh wow, yeah.
So it really took us out of play because I couldn't combine those amounts over multiple stores. I had to have it per each location. So it really just I had to change the focus. We continued to do soccer. We did that, but then I decided to start playing off of the fanware because there was a very small amount that was available then, and I just kind of thought, there was nowhere in town to really go to. You could go to Hy-Vee or CVS. That was it, and there was really. It was all kind of the same stuff, and it was all in bulk, and you didn't have a lot of selection. So it kind of got me to look at starting to carry that, and so once we moved locations, that's when it really happened. When we moved to 6th and Main, that's when I really kind of changed the focus. It was a new place, a new look, and we really expanded by, if you've been in, you know the difference that what we had from what previously Tri-City Sports had is like basically one wall to now we've got, thousands of square foot of different inventory.
So when you made that decision to go fanware, is that the same time you made the decision to start doing screen printing?
No, screen printing was
So
a part of
screen-
was really a part of the business, but it was really more uniform oriented from
Right.
what they had there. But then what I expanded on too was really, especially after COVID, when COVID hit and basically sports were shut down. You know, we were non-necessary. You know, we weren't needed. So during that time, I really thought, you know, well, what's still going? Businesses. What can we do? How can I get back open? Because I can't do anything for sports right now. So that's when I really started to getting out and trying to get businesses, you know, organizations, church, anything that we could go do that was still open, that was still relevant.
Right.
So we then, with making that change and adding more of that to it, really saw our business increase, because now we weren't just a retail store selling we're selling soccer stuff. We went to now we're providing stuff to businesses not only here, but you know, we with the joy of the internet and getting things out there, you know, we turned that availability in, that it went from Quincy up into Iowa, over
Right.
to Missouri. We got a big presence down in the Wentzville area, where I actually had a sales guy at one point doing things for us down there, because we had so much. So it really opened up new avenues to grow the business. And then, you know, over that 5-year period, which was basically from COVID until now, like we've seen 20 to 30% increases in our business every year.
What's
since
interesting?
that.
What's interesting about that decision, though, is that online, you're able to go online and buy shirts and prints and all that stuff at that point, probably at lower cost than what you can provide, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
But you decided, okay, I'm going to go ahead anyway.
Yeah, well,
and compete against those guys.
Yeah, and a lot of that, when you get in there and look at that, and this is what I really tell people when I talk to them, whether they come in the store or we talk to them on the phone, is, you know, you can go onto those sites and they're going to show you these super cheap prices for T-shirts. You know, we can get you X amount of T-shirts for $4.99 or whatever. When you really dig into it and you start looking at it, and you've got to send them artwork. And if you don't have artwork, they're going to hit you for that. Then they're going to hit you up with a setup charge. They're going to set you up with a screen charge. They start hitting you with lots of fees. And then, you know, that $4.99 price, that might have been for 1,000 T-shirts. That doesn't tell you that up front. You know, so you get into it, and once you've now wasted your time, and you see by not maybe going local and trying to go online and try to find that cheaper price that they're all throwing out there, then when it's all said and done, you generally start coming back local, and especially to small business, because that's what we're here for. Small businesses take care of small businesses. And do we do large businesses? Absolutely. I mean, we do some orders that are, you know, 1,000 shirt orders. We do that. But, you know, our niche is taking care of the small businesses, and that's where, you know, they need to save money. Everybody needs to help everybody out, save money, because one of my quotes I had from a customer, she said the other day, she goes, "Just please help me. I'm a small business and I can't do big business prices." So, you know, that's a nice thing, that people know that they can still come somewhere that is a small business that will take care of them.
How do you find the T-shirts or sweatshirts and all that type of stuff, the good quality, and mix that with the affordability of that product also? That's got to be a tough balance.
Yeah, the big part is, and you know, the kind of the joy part of this is, you were just over in the store right before we started this, and you got to hear me on a phone call with the customer, is really, you've got to find what their needs are, find out what they want to spend, and then curtail that, just take that and let them know what they can get.
Right.
Because, you know, I could sit there and say, and I know this happens a lot, well, just go on our website and pick out what you want. The customer doesn't know. They're not going to know the price point. You know, you save a lot of time. You're giving them better customer service by saying, you know, here's the thing. You know, if you're only wanting to spend this amount, this is really where we have to go. You know, now if you've got a little bit more money to put into them, we can start looking at, you know, whether you want to have a brand, you know, getting into something where, you know, maybe I put you in a Sport Tech top, but maybe you want Nike. Yeah, okay, well, I can get you Nike, but do you want to pay $10 more a shirt for the logo?
Right.
Is that what you want? So, you know, just helping them, sharing the knowledge that you have, and letting them understand what they can get into, really just saves a lot of time of going back and forth.
I would think shrinkage is a big part of your conversation too, because I would think that the more costly the shirt is, the less shrinkage there would be for that client. Is that the case?
It's not necessarily that
it
way.
isn't?
It's really
Okay.
it's really more about fabric. It's more about the quality, the fabric. So, you know, everybody's going to go 100% cotton, 100% cotton shirts are generally going to be a cheaper T-shirt, but those are shirts that, when you care and you dry, there's the opportunity. Most likely those are going to shrink up if you don't care for them properly. You go to a 50-50 T-shirt with a pot and collie blend; those are going to give you the less amount of shrinking as you dry or whatever. Dry fits, 100% polyester. You normally don't have that problem unless you throw them in a nuclear hot dryer. So that's kind of part of the education process and helping a customer too. Is there are some customers that are strictly price point buyers. So you've got to, this is what you get.
Right.
So that might be a easy core cotton T-shirt that is a low price point, but when you're a price point buyer, you get what fits into that. I can't give you this just because that's what you want to spend.
How do you handle the businesses, and let's say Ron's Hospital, for lack of a better term, and I want to have a set thing for new employees that come in, whether it's a whatever type, or how do you handle that type of situation with these businesses?
So they have options, and we do this with a lot, like especially with like nursing homes or companies or things like that. That either they have hiring drives where they have a lot of people coming at once, or they just have turnover. And we have one business that is constantly turning people over, and we're doing it's not small quantities. I'm talking like 100, 200 piece orders every couple months, because that's how much they're unable to retain. So we give them the opportunity where we can send them a sales order sheet. So here's the options that you give your employees. So let's say you get a T-shirt and a sweatshirt, and maybe you get a jacket, and that's what one of our. So they have that. They can go in there and then they can order and send that to me. We also have it to where we have e-stores that are for companies to where their employees can go on at a discounted price, and they can go in. And so if the company doesn't provide their items, but they can go in and they get a discounted price to go in and order, and then we can do them on a per employee basis.
Does the e-store come to you, or does it go to a third party that
so
does
we go through a company that's called Order My Gear. One of our vendors had a e-store business that we could kind of go through, and it was somewhat archaic, very slow, didn't allow us a lot of freedom to do different things for fundraisers and stuff. So Order My Gear is a company that one of my vendors turned us on to. So they get their portion. There's always a processing fee and whatever. And some people don't like that. Like we'll set up a store, and they'll be like, well, what's this charge? Well, hey, they've got to make their money too. They're putting up the site. They're letting all the orders come in. And when that happens, that's when we kind of turn over and we'll send out an order sheet. We'll say, okay, if you want to bypass that, here's an order sheet with the same things. You take the orders. You get them, you email all of them to me, and then that way, then we'll start processing your order that way. But, the e-stores have opened up so many different avenues from employee stores to fundraisers to sports fan wear to even my store. We're fully online with my store. You can go to TriCitySports.com and shop 90% of what we have for fan wear in the store.
So for the fan gear.
So that's a new thing that we've started this year. So it's really opened up what we have. Like when you go to our website, it'll say our e-stores that we have for businesses. You're going to find 50 businesses that we do e-stores.
And are they password protected? So only my employees can go to Ron's store?
Yes, depending on where it's at. So if it's a corporate one, yes, then they'll send that out, and those won't be like on our public one. But let's say we've got something for Old Wolfhound Pub in Hannibal. So like they're there. Like if people forget when they leave, they're like, oh man, I really wish. Okay, well hey, you can go to Tri-City Sports. Boom, hit their logo. It takes you to their site. Then we do like a lot of sports teams. I know you've got a grandson that's playing baseball. Their baseball fan wear site is on our website too. So not only do the coaches send those out, but again, you're at a ball game. I don't have that. Go to Tri-City Sports and find our logo on their e-stores. So it makes it easy not only for us but for the customer too, and for the businesses to not only have that through their sites, but they can also do it through ours. So we all kind of work together to make sure it's a super easy process for the customers.
Thanks for coming in, sir.
Yeah, appreciate it.
All right.
Yep, have a good
Tom
day.
Freeze
Thank you.
with Tri-City Sports. This has been the Business Spotlight, brought to you by the Bank of Springfield.